So good morning, everyone, and welcome to the SportsFX currency update for Wednesday, the 2nd of October. Matt, good morning. How are you?
Morning, Chris. Really good, mate. A little bit cool and miserable down here in Sydney at the moment, but we'll get there.
Yeah, we're a bit the same, actually. We're on the Gold Coast, but we've actually got overcast and windy weather as well, not the usual blaring sunshine that we're used to.
No, not at all, mate. We seem to be going back and forth. One day great, next day not so much. So hopefully it settles itself down, like the currency market, mate.
Yeah, I know. No, we've seen that overnight. There's been, I'll just get straight into it. Obviously, if you've seen the news, we've had some airstrikes, over in sort of the Iran, Lebanon, Israel area. When that happens, you generally find that you'll see the US take control in regards to, it's called a flight to safety, and you'll find that a lot of money goes back into currencies like the US dollar and Japanese yen. And we've seen that overnight. So as we sort of touched on earlier in the week, we were getting to that 69-cent mark, which is this green line here. We have sort of pushed above it, but overnight it's dropped back about 0.5%. It pushed up to that sort of 69.40 region, but it's just sort of pushed up there on weak volume over the past couple of days, and now it's closed back around 68.80 this morning. Again, it's more so driven from like this safe haven gains as Iran fires. So that's where it's sort of drawn from at the moment, is political issues. So safe haven currencies. So if you haven't heard that term before, as I said, that's the US, Japanese yen, Swiss franc, more, and they've all sort of strengthened, overnight. So give or take, there are still some announcements, obviously due, as we talked about, out of the US this week, and there's quite a lot, mainly Thursday, Friday night. I think over the next 24 to 48 hours, it'll be driven by what's sort of happening. So that's what we've seen in the US. So Aussies looking to buy US, as we said, probably Monday. Forward contracts are not a bad idea at this point. You're still up at that 69-cent range. If you can take advantage of that and lock some in to just get yourself out of this volatile time, because it could drop very quickly. And as we said, that cuts into your profit and loss. So that's potentially what we're looking at in Aussie US at the moment. Flicking over to the yen, a little bit the same. They've probably got that same look to them. It sort of tried to push up here yesterday, and it's just sold off again and sold back below this sort of medium-term trend line. So if we see a bit of strength in the yen over the next few days, we could start coming down and sort of testing, these areas, 97 down to 95. That's good news, as I said. If you're an Aussie playing in Japan, which we have quite a number of them, to be sending your money back if we do get back in around these areas. And we've got an alert set for a couple of people around 95. So just keeping an eye on that. And the last one sort of look at this morning is pound US. So it's one of our biggest traded pairs. As you can see from this sort of area here, we've sat between 193 and 196 since the middle of July. We've bounced off 193 a couple of times. And over the past week, we've dropped from 196 down to 193. Off the back of a bit of a strength in the Aussie dollar overall. So that'll be just interesting, real key couple of days here. We've got a few people now with money sitting on account with us, just waiting to see what happens here. I'm hoping for their sake it sort of bounces off this trend area and starts to drift upwards. And we've got a few limit orders set for people at 195, 196. So we'll just see how that plays out over the next couple of days. But that's sort of the big movers or the main things we're looking at, currently this morning and probably towards the end of the week. Non-farm payrolls come out Friday night from the US. You'll see a lot of volatility around that. And that's probably the key couple of things to look at.
Yeah, I think you're right, mate. And as you said at the start, the geopolitical status at the moment, throughout the Middle East and other regions as well, will have an impact. Putting those orders in place, being sort of ready to strike, if you like, for our clients is critical. And just giving them that right information as and when situations change.
Yeah, and as you say, it's having that plan. It's having a plan around volatility. It's if the US was to just if these missiles keep sort of flying back and forth, the US is more than likely, just off previous history, going to strengthen, which means the Aussies going to weaken and you're potentially missing out on taking advantage of those 68, 69 cent levels. So yeah, definitely worth a chat. As I said, if if you're not using us, if you're with a bank or you're with another provider, give them a call, have a chat to them around what's going on.
No, 100%. As we've said from day dot, our position here and our mission here is just to educate. Give the athletes, and not just the athletes, the associations, the agents, and everybody associated with a professional athlete, that they've got the right information, real-time information that they can provide to their clients.
Yeah, no, definitely. No, that's great. We'll keep an eye on that over the next few days. That's our quick snapshot for the Wednesday morning. Obviously, if you are, you've got money to move back and forth, just stay vigilant around what's happening in the markets and reach out to your currency provider. Cheers, Matt.
Cheers, mate. Speak soon.
Good.
Well done.
Yes.